You don't have to spend all of your money on fancy pants school supplies. This right here, this was made from a 48-cent notebook. So, and I'm kind of like low-key obsessed with it. So we should do a giveaway, and I want to personalize it for whoever wins. Pick the color, maybe put your name on it, whatever you want. Stick around to the end to see how to enter that. If it's your first time here, I'm Sarah Engel. You should comment below and tell me that you're new here so that I can personally welcome you. So to help you create your best school year ever, we're actually making a whole back to school series. I am working my butt off to get the rest of them out to you. My mom even flew out here from South Carolina to help me film them. I'm getting them to you as fast as humanly possible. So don't miss out. Poke the subscribe button. So now get ready for Mermaid DIY school supplies. First up, we have these dry erase seashell magnet clips. These are probably the most useful DIYs I have ever made. It's like if sticky notes magically became reusable, magnetic, insanely cute, and they can actually hold on to things like assignments, pictures, ID cards, concert tickets, almost anything relatively small and flat. So let me show you how to make them. Trace your favorite cookie cutters or stencils onto a poster board, then cut out the shapes. You'll need dry erase paint. You can get this as brush paint, but it's a pain because you have to mix 2 containers, so if you can, go for the spray paint. Here are mine all sprayed. It was so quick and easy, so definitely recommend going that route. Now use washi tape to cover the clothespins. Once your whiteboard dry erase shapes are dry, glue them to the clothespins. Not all of these are mermaid. This originally was part of my last video, but it was too long, so the mermaid school supplies kind of ran off and got their own video. Anyway, you can take it a step further and add a decorative pearl to each one if you'd like. Finally, you can stick some magnetic tape to the back of your clothespin. By the way, if you're concerned about any part of this falling off, you can use a stronger adhesive like E6000. Just be careful with that stuff because it's really intense. You're ready to grab a dry erase marker and try it out. Seriously, you guys, these are amazingly helpful. So yay practical, but they also make great decor and picture holders. I use them all the time now, so whether or not you're going back to school, you have to try these. Number 2 is this cute snail whiteout. I love his eyeballs. So you'll need one of those little rolling whiteouts, not the liquid kind, but don't open it up like I did. I'll show you why later. You're going to paint a blue circle on it, or whatever color you want. This is just acrylic paint, and I pat it on with a sponge in a circle. Use a small paintbrush to clean up the edges of the circle. Then you'll take a Q-tip and pull off the fluffy part, and then cut it in half. These will be your snail's antenna. Since my snail will be orange, I'm painting these orange too. Now we're painting the snail himself, popping out a little shell. Leave a section blank so it looks like his long neck is poking up out of there. And then fill in that section with black paint to make it look more like a shadow. Grab a pair of earplugs and paint them white to make them look like his eyeballs. I tried so hard to figure out a way to stick the Q-tips in the earplugs, but they would not go in. I tried cutting, stabbing with a wig pin, a nail, and even using fire to heat up a pin to stick in the earplugs.
I don't know how to light a match.
My mom had to come to the rescue.
How'd you do that? It closed back up.
So instead, I cut the earplugs a little shorter, painted the bottom where I just cut, and glued them to the Q-tips, which worked just fine. Here is why I said don't open your whiteout container, but it took at least an hour to get it back together. To start the shell spiral, put a little white dot, or I put a little white heart sticker in the center of the blue. Use that as your starting point and paint on the shell swirl. I actually made my spiral the wrong direction, but it took me forever to notice, so clearly it doesn't really matter. Again, you can use some of that blue to clean up any messy edges. Now it's time to glue on the eyeball sticks. I used E6000, but hot glue or something less strong works fine. Like I said earlier, be careful. This stuff is intense. The crayons and safety scissors are on your back to school list. You probably shouldn't be using it by yourself. Now paint a little black circle on the end of each eyeball. Oh my goodness! Ah! I love the eyes. I'm adding some optional decorative pearls to the top to make his shell extra fancy. I love him! See, maybe having such fun whiteout will remind you it's okay to make mistakes. Because I make a lot of them. I know I said last video that the pencil sharpeners were the easiest DIY ever, but I take it back. These DIY magnets are the easiest, fastest things ever. So just find some cool stickers and cut one out. These 3D ones look like buttons and worked perfectly. Pull out the magnet tape again from the first DIY, cut a piece off, and stick it on the back. That's literally it. It's so easy that it feels more like a life hack than a DIY. I mean, you can do it with flat stickers too. A lot of stickers actually come on that heavier cardstock, so just cut them both to the same size and then stick the sticker to the cardstock and put a magnet on the back. If it didn't come on a cardstock, then you can always just put it on some poster board too. Now your locker, fridge, or anywhere magnetic can be instantly personalized with whatever fun magnets you want. Mermaids not required, but they are always recommended. Number 4 goes great with your new snail, a shell tape dispenser. Lightly trace a regular tape container on a colored sheet of paper. And to make it look more like a shell, draw a straight line across, following where the tape comes out. Now cut out your shell shape. Erase any visible pencil lines. Now lightly sketch your spiral and a pencil so you can erase it if you need. And then when you're happy with the spiral, trace the pencil with a Sharpie. I went in with a few shades of Sharpies to add some extra dimension, but that's completely optional. Cut out a long strip of paper that's the same width as the tape dispenser. We're using this to wrap around the outside of the shell, so measure it to that and cut off the excess before gluing it on. Now you can glue on the front too. If you want to make a back, you can, but I left mine open so it's easy to replace the tape when I run out. Grab some colorful stick-on pearls. I alternated the color and size and stuck the pearls on the top outside, then also some where the opening of the shell would be if it were a real shell. To take it a step further, you can add regular pearl-colored pearls too. These look cute in the center of the shell spiral. I started with the biggest ones on the outside and gradually worked my way into the center with the smallest pearls. And there we have it, a very pearly shell tape dispenser. Alright mermaids, finally we have our Mermaid Life notebook. I'm obsessed with the pocket and how it's very mermaid yet subtle enough to use it anywhere. This starts with a plain composition notebook. I found this amazing shimmery pale coral cardstock in the clearance bin, so just glue it to the front of the notebook. Then take a pair of scissors and trim off the excess. Make sure you round the corners too if your notebook has round corners. I love how it shimmers like a mermaid's scales. Use the leftover cardstock to cover as much of the back as you can. Make sure you get the glue all the way to the edges so it doesn't peel up. My sheet didn't cover the whole thing, but that's okay because we're going to hide that. Now take an embossed cardstock, cut it diagonally to create the front pocket. Then you can cut along whatever design is on the edge of your cardstock for an extra nice touch, which worked perfectly with the scales. I was so lucky to find this perfect scale cardstock in that same clearance bin. By the way, if this was painted the right color, this scale paper could be made to look like an ice cream cone, which could be really fun. Now glue on your pocket. Make sure you don't glue the pocket opening shut. That diagonal edge should be left open, otherwise it's not a pocket. So pretty, I love it already. For the back, cut a rectangle from the same embossed cardstock. You can use this to strategically cover any spots left uncovered on the back you need. I had most of the back covered, so I also cut some individual scales out to let the shimmery coral color peek through. If there's some showing on the edge with the binding, that's okay because we'll cover that with washi tape, which is what I started to do when I realized that this washi tape is somewhat see-through. So you could see the black binding through it and I needed to paint it white. So check before you start so you can paint without worrying about getting it on your new cover. Now for that washi tape binding, to keep the scales going the right direction, we're going to do a bunch of horizontal pieces instead of a couple long ones. So measure the distance you want with one piece first, and I found it helpful to cut all the pieces and have them ready to go off to the side. Also make sure you line it up so the pattern on the washi tape matches evenly all the way down. Then stick each piece on the front. You can leave them all hanging off the edge for now.
When we soar away among the clouds, the sky is just a border. When we're floating up like helium.
When you reach the bottom, flip over the notebook and press down all the tape pieces.
Sip me up like lemonade. We both know it's bittersweet. This sorrowness will bite your tongue. No one is forever young. No. Listen the rhythm. I'm feeling brand
Once the binding cover is complete, flip it back to the front.
new. Never look down, love. Not when we shine so bright.
Now we can add the letter stickers to spell out Mermaid Life or whatever else you want it to say, like your name, for instance.
Way among the clouds. The sky is just a border. Oh, when we're floating up like helium.
A little toothpick can help you straighten out some of the letters if they're a bit crooked. One last finishing touch. Grab those stick-on pearls we've been using a lot today and put one at the top of the washi tape binding and one at the bottom. And there you go! Now you can go back to school or into the office or wherever you go feeling like a mermaid. So there we have it! I'm really, really obsessed with mermaid life. Oh yeah, giveaway! If you want to win your own personalized, customized, made by me, just for you, Mermaid Life Notebook, just follow me on Instagram and comment a mermaid emoji on my most recent picture. Honestly, I'm really excited about this giveaway because like I get to interact with you and we get to decide together how exactly we're gonna personalize it. Make it just for you. That's gonna be a lot of fun. So don't miss out. Poke the subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in our next back to school video.